chose Gibbons' tonal music and Webern's atonal music to symbolize the binary oppositions in this play, including sanity and insanity, reason, emotion, body, and the soul.
What does she look like? And how will I know her when I see her? Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you for rejecting me by never being there. Fuck you for making me feel shit about myself. Fuck you for bleeding the fucking love and life out of me. Fuck my father for fucking up my life for good, and fuck my mother for not leaving him, but most of all, fuck you, God, for making me love a person that does not exist. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
What we really wanted to do with this production was to get back to the roots of what Kane wanted to convey in the play. I think there's a very strong structure behind the play, a structure that's often dismissed because of the fragmented way of which it's written, when in reality I think the piece is underpinned by a very strong and very specific story, and sort of the challenge of the staging is all about telling that story in such a way that any meaning or significance can be subjectively interpreted through the events of the story. I think the casting of a play like 4.48 Psychosis is always something that will set these different interpretations apart. In this case, we have the doctor, the patient, and the piano player. The patient is played by a male character and the doctor by a female, which again is another way of kind of alienating the vast amount of interpretation that the play has seen and allowing the audience to focus on that story.
Don't try and switch off my mind by attempting to straighten me out. Listen and understand, and if you feel contempt, don't express it, at least not verbally, at least not to me.
I don't feel contempt.
No.
No. It's not your fault.
It's not your fault. That's all I ever hear. It's not your fault. It's an illness. It's not your fault. You've told me that so many times, I'm beginning to think it is my fault.
It's not your fault.
I know!
But you allow it! Don't you? I'm terrified of medication. I cannot make love. I cannot fly. I cannot be alone. I cannot be with others. At 4.48, when desperation visits, I shall hang myself to the sound of my lover's breathing.
Morning brings defeat. Beautiful pain that says I exist. And the same in life tomorrow.
Gibbons was the English Baroque composer. His music presents the character of sanity in this play. In contrary, the character of insanity is presented by the music of An-Ting, who has led the 20th century New Viennese expressionist music. Webern composed in a way of 12-tone technique. This is so-called atonal music. Atonal, this word is very interesting. Literally means without the tones. But there is no music which is really without the tones. But people don't understand or don't feel familiar to the music, so give it a name, atonal. This reminds me very much of the word insanity. Webern composed in a different way, as Sarah Kane, who thought differently and wrote it down. Is a tonality really without the tones, or insanity really without sadness? By the strong, expressive sound played in this performance, the boundary between sanity and insanity are blurred. I also designed the music in an independent narrative line. I structure it with a harmonic and programming relationship responding to this play. The music, therefore, speaks the other language for 4.48 Psychosis.
Where do I start? How do I stop? 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 I'll die. Not yet. But it's there. Please. Cut! Here. Don't let this kill me. This will kill me and crush me and send me to hell. I beg you to save me from this madness that eats me, a sub-intentional death. I thought I should never speak again, but I know there is something blacker than desire. Perhaps it will save me.
What I found most interesting about how it is sort of how Kane unravels her characters. The patient sort of goes on this line of almost ascension, which is hidden by her apparent collapse into illness, whilst the doctor goes through a journey of descension. And it's these opposing journeys that our perception of illness and depression and even sanity itself is completely challenged. Behind it all, of course, is the piano player, who is a character in this play. And her music at times moves with the words, and at times when it needs to be challenged, it moves against it. And at other times, it's as much there as any of the other characters in the piece. It's the melody that's drifting through the window. And at 4.48, when sanity visits the patient, it becomes her invisible lover.
Fear God and his wicked convocation. A scourge on my skin, a seeth in my heart, a blanket of roaches on which we dance this infernal state of siege. At 4.48, when sanity visits, for 1 hour and 12 minutes I am in my right mind. After that, I shall be gone again. A fragmented puppet. A grotesque fool. Now I am here, and I can see myself. But when I am charmed by vile delusions of happiness, I cannot touch my essential self. Why do you believe me then, and not now? Remember the light, and believe the light. Nothing matters more. Stop judging by appearances, and make a right